guys to do me a favor. I want you guys to watch this video. It's actually been out for now over a month now, I would say. It's pretty famous. You guys may have seen it already. If you were sleeping on the rock or if you weren't really paying attention much, then you probably weren't. It was actually uploaded on YouTube about, again, like I said, a month ago by a YouTuber named Brooke Houts. Apparently she's a popular YouTuber, or maybe now was. The video got leaked out. She apparently has about 325,000 subscribers, or maybe a little over that. But anyways, this video is very disturbing. She accidentally uploaded it to her YouTube channel. Didn't mean to do it, but it got uploaded. And it was immediately taken down after there was a lot of backlash. And the video depicts her, she was actually filming and she was pulling a video, doing a video with her dog, trying to prank the dog, is a Doberman called Sphinx. Anyways, in the video that she actually uploaded, it shows her doing very egregious acts, very violent acts, and disturbing acts. And without further ado, I'll let you guys watch it. If you're squeamish with that sort of thing, I'll put a timestamp down below my description so you can go ahead and fast forward to the continuation of the video. Otherwise, for those who are going to watch this video, please watch it. In the back of your mind, I want you guys to be thinking, is this abuse? Okay? So I'll catch you at the video.
No. Well, as you can tell, stop! We love you. We love you, or whatever. We love you. We love you.
Okay, for those of you who did not watch the video, basically in the video, it shows House on at least 3 separate occasions screaming at and smacking her dog after he playfully jumps up on her while she's trying to film the YouTube video. In one clip from the video, the dog jumps on House while she's filming for the video. In turn, House holds on the dog, yells "stop" at him, and appears to spit on him just out of frame of the camera. The whole video is disturbing, and what's even more disturbing is the aftermath. Did Brooke's channel get taken down, or at the least temporarily during the investigation? No. Did her dog get taken away from her, just like CPS when they take away suspectedly abused children from their home? No. Were there any charges pressed against her? Did at the least the Animal Cruelty Task Force that's affiliated with the LAPD, did they at least do their job and determine this was animal cruelty? No. So in the end, what came about of this 1-month so-called investigation? Nothing. There's a reason behind all this, and I'll get to this later. But I just wanted to talk about the psychological aspects of animal abuse and cruelty and bring more added expertise value to this discussion. So why would anyone abuse their animal? Well, there are many reasons, and I'm going to lay them all out here before getting to my thoughts on Brooke specifically. Oh, and this discussion refers to animal abuse, not animal torture, which is more extreme and you see more sociopathic traits and probably doesn't apply here, and that's a whole separate different video. But anyways, going back to this video, I can think of several reasons on the top of my head to why folks would hit animals. And it could be any one or a combination of these reasons. The first reason is a developmental one. The curious explorative preschooler or the individual with severe mental retardation, now known as intellectually developmentally delayed or IDD, whose IQ is in the 30s, both hugging and squeezing a dog too hard. In both cases, developmentally speaking, their cognitive abilities limit them to fully appreciate and understand any formalized operations to try to avert such actions or excessive actions towards the dog, for example. Now, another reason to why individuals may hit animals or their pets is that these individuals simply do not know any better. They don't have the knowledge, the education, and or resources to handle their pet. They might have grown up seeing their parents abuse their pets, so in turn they feel that that's the proper way to handle animals. Or they may actually believe that yelling loudly, hitting, spitting, or yanking chains is a way to discipline their dog or cat, not realizing that there are better, more effective, and humane ways. Or they may be so overburdened and it's just too much for them that they resort to such more extreme measures of the yelling, loudly, hitting, spitting, yanking chains out of sheer desperation and frustration. Another reason is that there are studies that show folks who themselves were abused or bullied growing up have a higher propensity to unknowingly abuse their own kids or others that are weaker than they are, such as animals. These folks who are abused are helpless, internalize the abuse, and when they grow up, displace their years of trauma and abuse onto other innocent bystanders, usually those weaker than them. Or in other words, what was done to them, they do to others later in life. And these acts of displacement of violence is all unconscious, associating violence as a normal act. Just that's what they have always been accustomed to. Another reason is that they may have a psychiatric condition or disorder that leaves them more vulnerable and ultimately exacerbates their acting out onto weaker creatures such as children, or in this case, animals. Depression, anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia, cognitive disorders such as intellectually, developmentally disabled, personality disorders such as antisocial personality disorder. These are all examples of conditions that can theoretically increase the rates of potential violence towards other more vulnerable creatures. A lot of times it goes back to power, control, and dominance. Someone who's depressed or anxious may feel a lack of power or control in certain aspects of their lives, and they hence try to make it up by exerting that power and control that they themselves don't have over the weak. Or another example is that they're depressed and weak, they hate their life, they see a weaker creature such as their pet, they unconsciously identify themselves and see themselves in that weaker creature, and since they hate their own existence, they in turn hate the dog or the cat and will strike out at the dog or the cat. Again, all unconscious, all unwillingly doing. Likewise, other psychiatric conditions, you see externalizing forms of such violence. They're more prone in folks with externalizing types of psychiatric diagnoses, such as you see in bipolar, schizophrenia, or in IDD, intellectually, developmentally disabled. Antisocial personality disorder. The hallmark feature of individuals who have what's called antisocial personality disorder is a lack of empathy towards others. And it's common to see animal abuse history in their backgrounds. So you see, this is what I'm getting at. There could be many different reasons to why Brooke specifically hit and spit at her dog. And by the way, if you don't think that video was abuse, you may as well just stop my video right now or give me a thumbs down because it was clearly abuse. Now, with Brooke Houts specifically, this is my professional opinion. Now, I know for sure that she has a history of anxiety. There's a video of hers that's 30 minutes long. It's called, "I Was Forced to Go to a Mental Hospital, Worst Night of My Life, Story Time." I tried to watch the entire video. However, I was only able to get into 5 minutes of it. Truth be told, it was too much for me. It was only making my migraine headache worse, just listening to her speak. Plus, I didn't want to waste my time. But she did admit to her saying in those 5 minutes that I watched that she has quote-unquote anxiety and depression and that she's on medication. And, to be admitted to a psychiatric hospital shows to me the severity of how bad it can or may get. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not faulting her for that, believe me or not. But this video was just done like a year ago, and one wonders how stable from a psychiatric standpoint she truly is. And if she needs further help. Especially just a month ago, she was exposed on YouTube hitting and abusing her dog. Now, I don't know anything about her upbringing, but she did mention in the video that her family does have mental illness. So one wonders if she was exposed growing up to potentially maybe domestic violence or violence in her home. Hopefully not. Again, this is all just speculation based on what little I saw in the 5 minutes that I could take of the video. There was also a mention of PTSD in the video, so maybe she also was unfortunately victimized and traumatized at some point growing up. Again, I could spend several hours and hours going through all her videos, but I'm not going to spend much more necessary time because it won't change my assessment. I'm pretty much confident that there are confounding psychological and or psychiatric reasons behind the abuse as I mentioned above. It's one thing if this was a one-time thing of mistreatment towards the dog, but I have my doubts. The absolute best video about all of this Brooke Houts dog abuse topic is a video entitled "Even More Videos of Brooke House Mistreating Her Dog" by a young woman by the name of Tamimi. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, I'm going to put a link to the video, to her video, in my video description down below. Check it out if you haven't already. I don't know who she is, but she brilliantly broke down and dissected and tore apart this case in less than in her 15-minute video. I think it was like 13 minutes and change. But she basically did something in that less than 15-minute video than what the LAPD's Animal Cruelty Task Force couldn't do or didn't want to do in a whole freaking month. And it doesn't take much to put two and two together. Just watch some of Brooke's clips and you'll see it for yourself. You don't have to be an expert or professional at all. You can see it for yourself. The way the dog always flinches when she raises her hand. The way Brooke looks and appears angry towards her dog in between cuts. Or selfishly ignores him when all he wants to do is play. This is neglectful behavior. So in recap, we are seeing a repetitive pattern of concerning displayed behaviors and actions that the LAPD's Animal Cruelty Task Force turn a blind eye to. Okay, so here's where I'm going with all of this, and this is just my professional opinion. I see Brooke Houts as being an overwhelmed young woman who in no way has the mental capability and stability to even properly take care of a dog at this point in time, in my opinion. I think the stress from being in a big hustle-bustle city such as LA, far away from her own home, can only, if anything, be paralyzing and more than likely serve to exacerbate and worsen her underlying anxiety and or depression, limiting her ability to properly take care of herself, let alone others around her, including her dog, Sphinx. I think that she needs better professional help and guidance. Otherwise, she more than likely will worsen. Actually, I think more than anything, unfortunately, all the stress this past month more than likely worsened her psychiatric symptomology based on other similar types of cases that I have experienced in my professional career. Look, I don't want any harm or ill will towards anyone, and in fact, I do empathize for the individual Brooke Houts, however, not with her actions. I do feel that aside from her anxiety and depression, I think that there may also be a personality component to all of this. Notice in all her videos, she always addresses herself as your girl or says something to that effect. She strikes me as being an egocentric, self-adulating individual, and my guess is that attention is my friend. She likes the limelight. Now, when her dog suddenly starting to be the main spotlight and highlight in her videos, and her subscriber count starts to go up, since her dog has replaced her as being the main star, this will only fuel any unconscious hatred and jealousy. In other words, a lower creature is outstaging me and interfering with my main quest for supreme attention, soul admiration, and threatening my such desires, wants, and needs. Hence, any opportunity I'm going to take to exploit him and or mistreat or abuse him, it's going to happen, which I think is still happening to this day, unfortunately.